How is it going today? Loyalist, my name is Dwayne.
My name's Jasmine.
We're Dwayne N Jazz. Today we have Shang-Chi.
And Legend of the Ten Rings.
And Legend of the 10 Bracelets.
Okay.
Because it's not rings. It's rings, but
it's rings, but like, okay, it's rings in the comics, but it's bracelets in
the
movie, in MCU. So, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, Shang-Chi. See, I'm saying it right, because we used to say Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
I still like Shang-Chi, but you know what? Guys, go like the video. If you guys have your requests, please follow our social medias in the link in the description below. Don't forget to
subscribe.
Let's dive on in. Spoilers! Yep.
We are in the title.
It's in the title. We got to spoil it for you guys.
We're not gonna go play by play.
It's not gonna play by play, but it's a good movie. All right, I'm ready to let you know it's a good movie. Half the time I forgot I was watching a Marvel movie.
Yeah, like when we were watching it, I was just like completely forgetting that this was a Marvel movie until like they brought up people or showed people like Wong, or they showed the Mandarin, Abomination, and a whole bunch of other people. And in the end credits, it shows some other people too. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But overall, I gotta say that this movie was amazing. Like it was good. Like you legit forget it's a Marvel movie. Like I'm so serious. It's like it just reminds me of like all those old
Kung Fu.
Yeah, the old
like
action
Kung Fu Hustle,
movies, right? Like all those movies like that. That's what I was thinking of, like when I saw it. And there were some scenes that happened like in the movie, like where it was like certain shots. I'm like, okay, they had an Easter egg gap. They had to have gotten inspiration from certain movies. There's one point in the movie where they were like, fighting in the scaffolds and everything like that. And then Awkwafina's character was in trouble and she was like hanging on like the bamboo. And that made me think of Rush Hour
2, right?
Yeah, 2 or 1.
I think it was Rush Hour 2.
I forgot which one, but
it was Rush Hour. Yeah.
Rush Hour with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan was fighting in the scaffolds and everything, and then Chris Tucker was trying to help him, but then he was falling back on that thing and he was asking for help. So when I saw that, I was like, that's Rush Hour. And then there was another scene with the sister, with her weapon when she was fighting with the whole time. It reminded me of Kill Bill with Go-Go, because Go-Go had like a similar like weapon like that, and she was like flinging around.
Rope tied to a kunai. And what is it? A dumbbell? I don't know the pronounce. A heavy weight. It was. I ain't gonna lie. It was very precise. She was very precise. It was dope. It's just a lot that happened in this movie.
Yeah, but that scene, like when they saw, it was like a certain camera angle, like, and it got me because I told you in the theater, it was like a certain camera angle with the weapon. It was like the sister had the weapon on the ground, well, not in the ground, but a little bit from the ground. But the shot was like, this is the weapon, this thing, and it was shooting up, and she kicked it up, and I was like, that is exactly what Go-Go did in Kill Bill. So then I told him, I was like, that is from Kill Bill. And he was like, all right, Jazz, all right.
You see how excited she is about that? That's one of her favorite movies, Kill Bill.
I love it. I love those nods to those movies. So I was like, oh, this is cool.
For sure. So we start off with Shang-Chi in San Francisco. His name is Sean now. And he's just living his life out in San Francisco. Expensive San Francisco. Expensive. Exactly. I don't know. And so he's a valet, and that's where Awkwafina is. She's a valet as well. And they are, they're chilling, and then all of a sudden he has his mom's bracelet on, and then they introduce necklace. Yeah, I said bracelet. I'm thinking the 10 bracelets. And then Razor Fist. And here comes enter 10 rings and Razor Fist just demolishing the bus. Like it has regular civilians on there. It's dope. The bus scene is great. It reminds me of Jackie Chan. He's like fighting and he's using everything on that bus.
That he was like sliding through like certain like little compartments, like when he was like trying to get away and dodge and everything. It just reminded me of that. I was like, oh, this is so great.
I was like, this is refreshing.
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting because they switched up the story. Shang-Chi's enemy was Mandarin. Now Mandarin is basically
their friend.
They're okay. I know what part you're talking about. I'm talking about Mandarin as far as in Shang-Chi's father.
The real one.
He's his actual father instead of his enemy that has nothing to do. So they MCU kind of changed it up. But like she said, the actual fake Mandarin
that we saw from Iron Man, there was a whole like
actor
terrorist turned real terrorist. He was in there.
Yeah. So. And then they just dropped All Hail the King on Disney Plus. So go check that out so you can kind of figure out what happened in between.
That's probably why they dropped it.
Yeah,
because he was in this movie. So that's probably why they did.
Because they had to kind of clean that up, so they added that like as a featurette on another DVD set or whatever. And now it's on Disney Plus. We saw that and it was fun. That was fun. And then him coming back in this movie was also fun. And that leads them to Ta Lo. I'm trying to pronounce it exactly. I'm trying to work on my Chinese, So the whole time, Shang-Chi's father, we gonna call him Mandarin, was trying to get to this place because for 1,000 years he's been having these 10 rings and just conquering everything.
Yep. To a point that he almost got like bored almost. And then he met, of course, Shang-Chi's mother. And then that's when he decided to like, give up the 10 rings.
Yep.
And she gave away her powers too, basically.
Yeah, her powers because they
wanted to live together and like have a family, and that's where Shang-Chi and his sister came in. And after that, the father's past was coming back to him, and that's what led to the mother's death, unfortunately. And through this whole movie, you're just seeing Shang-Chi's like life, like how like his dad was like nice and loving. They were playing Dance Revolution. I was like, what? And that was when the mom was alive, but when she got killed, it was just like the dad like changed, and now
he went back to his old ways.
Yeah, he went back to his old ways and started like basically getting revenge. For his wife's death because she was killed. And so he was like, a blood debt has to be repaid by blood. And then that's when he started training his son to be an assassin and take out the people that took out his wife. And he did do that. He did. He didn't show it, but he said that he did. He lied to his friend and said that, he didn't do it, but then came back and said, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And then that's why he ran away and tried to make a new life and everything like that. But the father always knew where he was the whole time.
Yeah.
And then that's what caused the sister to harbor like this sort of like resentment towards her brother, because she said that she didn't want the brother to leave, and he said that he was going to come back within like 3 days, and then she said 3 days turns to a week, turns to a month, turns to a year, turns to 6 years, and then right when she turned 16, that's when she realized that she didn't need her brother anymore, and she started this whole like fight club thing, and that's where you see Abomination and Wong fighting in there, and then we gotta talk about that.
That was dope.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Because Wong was fighting Abomination, okay?
He was getting tossed. He was getting tossed. He won the fight. But did he really? He hit a full counter.
Yeah, he did.
He said, okay, Abomination, you hit me kind of hard here, buddy. So I'm going to show you how it feels. And it's just Abomination without punch. You open up a portal, and Abomination basically punched it and knocked himself out. Right.
But it was funny because as soon as the fight was over, they went back and it looks like they went to like, I'm not going to say it's Raft, but is it Raft?
I think it's the Raft.
Because I'm like, how is Abomination just...
Isn't he captured out in the open, right?
And so then we see that Wong opens up a portal to looks like a prison cell. Like it looks like that's Abomination's cell, and it looks like they just took him out for like a period of time just to like
get some breathe, get some rest,
and go back in. That's what it looked like.
So it seemed like they're kind of friendly too, right? Yeah. It's like okay, interesting.
So I was like, do y'all do this like
often?
On a normal basis? Like is this like his rec time? Like is this Abomination's rec time? Like going to fight in the ring?
Who knows?
And then go back.
Very interesting. Who knows?
I don't know.
Very interesting.
But it was just a really good movie. I'm not gonna spoil like the whole plot and everything.
Not
I mean, we already kind of spoiled parts of it, but I mean, whatever. But now, end credits, okay? End credits is what is very interesting to us.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to say, because they have two.
They have two. So make sure you stay if you're watching this. There's two of them.
Now, I was proud of our audience at the theater because only three people left. Like 3 people left. They was fake fans. But the rest of the audience, everybody sat to the entire time. Now, the first end credit scene is what's important.
Very important.
Because it showed like basically like Wong like trying to investigate the rings and saying like where did this come from and like how long did you have it, and
because they felt all the sorcerers felt it. Doctor Strange must have felt it. Wong felt it. The presence of the 10 rings because his father Mandarin wasn't worthy in a sense because the rings when Shang-Chi used it actually like gave this different type of orange glow aura, and now we know the orange glow aura was like a beacon out to the wherever because we don't know yet.
It started to send a signal.
Yeah,
and that was only when Shang-Chi had it.
Yep.
Because when the father had it, since he wasn't worthy, the signal never came off. And so now that he wielded it and used it, that's when the signal started going. And then they were talking to Captain Marvel. Her hair is a little bit longer now because remember, and last time we saw her hair was like shortcut, but like some time passed after the whole thing with Thanos, so now her hair is kind of like here,
longer.
And then we're looking at Bruce Banner, and we're not talking about Hulk.
We're not talking about Professor Hulk. No,
we're talking about regular human form Banner. So how'd that happen? How'd that happen? We don't know.
I got a theory though.
His hand was in a sling still.
Definitely is the case. This was post snap. I have a theory though. Big theory, okay? I felt like since I think him and Hulk off screen, they might show it off if Universal finally lets them make an Incredible Hulk movie like everybody wants. I'm sorry. Make some money. I'm sorry. Dingleberg. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But yeah. So basically, they somehow off camera got together, and then Endgame came, and we're like, what? Professor Hulk. And what I think happened off camera was like maybe the death of Natasha, and that the Hulk wasn't able to bring her back. Made them split up again. That might have been like a catalyst for like, you could have protected her or, something like that. I'm pretty sure. Because, the Hulk, that's the soft spot. And now she's dead. So I think that's what happened when him and the Hulk were having like an issue. And, he had the gauntlet on. So they both must have like had consciousness of what was happening. And he couldn't bring her back with the snap. So that might have been why we see Bruce Banner now instead of Professor Hulk. Which is very like huge. That's huge.
I was never a big fan of Professor
I was not. I think that's why they reversed it. Because I wasn't a fan. I was like, Professor Hulk.
Well, for me, I'm like, anytime I see Hulk, I don't expect him to speak in full sentences. Yeah, that's my thing. Yeah. If I'm talking to Hulk better say 5 words. That's your max.
That's his max. The Hulk 5.
And you gotta break down that sentence to where you try to explain, try to understand it. Yeah. Because I'm like him saying like, oh yeah, that is not Hulk. Hulk doesn't say, oh yes, I'm hungry. I would like to order some eggs and bacon. No, he says, hungry. That's all he says. I don't want to hear nothing else.
Hulk hungry.
Yes, I don't want to hear nothing.
Okay, let's get back. Now that was just our theory. Let's get back into the movie where we have, so basically, Captain Marvel was like, this is none of the alien tech I've seen. Bruce was like, this is not vibranium.
And then they're saying it's not Chitauri, and then Wong is saying that it's nothing that he's seen
in the archives.
The
magic archives.
So they have no idea where this is coming from, and we don't know. Well, because they said it's been around longer than 1,000 years than the father had it.
And the father, he was almost immortal because of those 10 rings. He's 1,000 years of just messing stuff up, carnage, bro. So he lived a long time. And it's just surprising that he didn't have any other children, in that long time period. But I digress. So yeah, and then Wong did like this little, what is this? I call it science project hologram magic thing, where he was able to analyze
the apart and see
what
the
rings
it was made of, and nobody knows.
Yeah.
So I guess they're gonna explain that later on.
And Shang-Chi too.
To me, I'm thinking that Celestials might have something to do with it. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we don't know. I found it very interesting.
Yeah. So it's that, and they're basically, I don't know if they're inviting him to the Avengers.
It kind of felt like he said welcome to the club, and then Wong was like, this is about to be a crazy circus. So I think they kind of like, Avengers do need some people. Iron Man is gone. Please come back, RDJ. And then Chris Evans, Captain America is gone. But we got our other one. You know what I'm saying? We got Anthony Mackie gonna hold it down. But I'm just saying those two are gone. So I think we kind of need some more Avengers now.
Right.
And then Bruce Banner I knew Bruce Banner wasn't gonna tell us anything. Like, he gonna know about this? I was like, but
he might.
I know those bracelets. It was at the antique store. No. But yeah, and then the second post-credit scene.
Oh, the second post-credit scene, which is one that I kind of predicted already.
I kind of said the same thing too.
Yeah, because the father was running the whole 10 rings operation basically, and so the sister took it over, and she's just like, we got work to do. And the thing that I loved with that scene, I will say, is because during the movie it showed her as a kid just watching her brother train from inside the house. She wasn't allowed to train with him, so she said that she learned how to fight by watching him and perfecting it in her own way, and then to make it better. But then in her scene when she's taking over the 10 rings, it starts off by showing it panning out to the training area, and then it shows a whole group of women just messing it up in their training. After that, then you see men on the other side. So it's like she's integrating them and not keeping them segregated like her father did. Yeah, father was just stuck in his 1,000-year-old misogynistic ways. Stuck in his misogynistic ways. Yeah. And she said, we're going to stop this segregation and put them together and train as equals. So I did like that.
Yeah. So, but it was I was like, oh, she's gonna take over the 10 rings. So he's gonna have to fight his sister. I'm just like, the whole time I think she was like, she wanted her own empire. Now she's just gonna take over her dad's business.
But I don't know if she's gonna make it evil though. I don't know. I thought she was just gonna take it over and be the head of it. I didn't think she was.
Well, what did the 10 rings gonna do? They were before then. They was like
to
conquerors.
Help people. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly, but I don't.
Conquer for good.
I don't. You're right. They might switch her around, but for right now, I have no idea where the 10 rings is. The new CEO's direction for the 10 rings.
I don't think that it's gonna be fully evil. Maybe that's just me being positive. But cause when the father had it, it looked all dark and it was black.
Yeah.
Like the logo was black with the rings and stuff, and then now it's red with the rings. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's a change in direction. I don't know.
Yeah. We gonna see. We gonna see because they setting up Shang-Chi too, and I'm excited. I'm excited about the post-credit scenes. Those are great headed directions. The movie was great. I give it a 10 out of 10. I'm giving out 10 is too much. There's no fault in the story at all. Everybody, it made sense. There was no problems with this movie. I couldn't find any.
I couldn't either.
You couldn't either, right? There's nothing wrong. It's just an enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
Nice choreography. I just don't know. Directed really well. There's nothing else I can say. Anyway, guys, comment below. Let us know what you think.
Don't forget to like,
subscribe,
share.
some more.